So I will be showing the performance evaluation from the rating perspective. First, you'll log on to myfss.af.mil. Please remember that this is a sandbox, so the URL will be different. No PDS should push your EPR to myEval no less than 128 days from your closeout date. This will be pushed out to both the ratee and rater. If it hasn't, then your CSS or NPF will have the ability to create an EPR shell on your behalf. So right now it will take me to the myFSS dashboard. You'll scroll down and click on rating. Okay, so this is the rating dashboard. You'll want to come down and confirm that the period of report is correct. And then you'll click on continue performance evaluation. So at the top, you'll see a status bar, and it lets you know who your EPR is currently sitting. Folks, we're getting a few of you stating that it's hard to hear Sergeant Wright. So if you could stand by for 1 second, we're going to do a quick comm check on this end, okay? Over. Folks, we're gonna have Sergeant Wright give you a sentence real quick. If I can get a thumbs up or thumbs down as far as the volume or if it's going in and out. Thank you. Test, test, test.
Loud and clear, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just gonna speak a little louder. If you all can't hear me, please let us know down in the comments. Okay, so we are at the rating dashboard. All of this information in here flows from MilPDS. So if any information is incorrect, please get with your NPF or CSS to get that updated. You can use these carrots to minimize and expand. It makes viewing a lot easier. Down here for a reason for evaluation, it's gonna be annual for AGR or biannual for TRs or DSGs. Is the sound better now? We're using a different system.
No, ma'am. I'm cutting out and a little end.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to make sure you all got all of this information because it's very important. Okay, so on the Rady dashboard, it's gonna show all of your information. This flows directly from MilPDS. So if any of your information is incorrect, please give it to your NPF or CSS to have that updated. You can use these carrots to expand and minimize the information. And down here for reason for evaluation, it's going to be annual for AGRs or biannual for TRs or DSGs. Once you verify that all your information is correct, you'll hit save and next. Here's a character limit notice. If you exceed 100 characters, it won't let you move forward and you'll get an error message. So as I stated previously, your EPR will be pushed out to both the rater and the ratee no more than 120 days out from the closeout date. It isn't the ratee's responsibility to draft any portion of the EPR, but they are encouraged to provide bullets, accomplishments, and anything that their rater may have missed. Personally, I provide my rater with as much information as possible because my EPR is a representation of myself and I, want to big myself up. So you'll just want to verify that all the duty description and information you inputted is correct. If you need to step away, you can always hit save progress down here, leave, come back, and it's still going to be there. Hit save and next when you're ready to move forward. And here's the meat of the EPR. You'll want to make sure the bullets match the top. Again, the ratee isn't responsible for drafting any portion of their EPR, but it's highly encouraged. So I'm just going through. For the purpose of time, we went ahead and pre-filled this EPR. So once I see that everything is good to go, I'm gonna go ahead and hit save and next. So here's where you will upload all your required documentation. Eventually, your PT test, last 3 EPRs, and your initial feedback will flow in here from myFSS, but for now, you'll need to go ahead and upload the required documentation. So once you've confirmed that everything has been uploaded, you'll hit save and next. Again, you get another opportunity to review all of your information. Ensure all your documents have been uploaded, and then you'll hit submit. So this lets me know that my submission is complete and now my EPR is with my rater. So I'll close out here. Again, you can look at the status bar at the top and it shows that it's sitting with the rater and it's awaiting their input. So now I'm gonna hand it over to my rater.
All right, can everybody hear me okay? All right, awesome. So now that we're going into my page, and you'll notice that I have actions under as a ratee, rater, and the other sections as we have them. So I'm going to go ahead and go to rater actions, and I'm going to go ahead and find the form that we started. And again, I want to reiterate as much as possible that this is going to be going back to your MPF and CSS to push to ARMS and PRADA and not at ARPC anymore. So when you guys are reviewing this information, you really want to go through it and make sure that everything looks good. It can be repetitive and it seems like you are reviewing the information several times, but it is very important that each time you really look through it, because you never know when you might miss something or need to change something. And this is going into your subordinate's permanent record. So you really want to make sure that you're setting them up for success and making sure that everything looks right. And keep in mind that technology is not always your friend. So sometimes it is a little slower than others. All right, bear with us while this loads. Sorry, guys, we might have to restart Chrome. And again, when you're going into sign in, this is what it's going to look like. Again, it'll be myfss.us.af.mil. Ours just looks different because we are using the sandbox version. So once it loads up, again, you'll need to go to the myEval application. All right, we'll try again, going to the rater actions. Make sure you click on, so again, this is where you want to make sure that you're clicking on the correct one that has the right closeout date. Okay, so again, at the top, you can see the status bar. So it shows green that says the rating has already input their information, and the blue is where it's currently at. So again, you want to make sure that you verify all this information. You know exactly the rating that you're going on, that all your information is correct, and your additional rater. Again, you'll want to make sure that your reason for report is correct for your member. We have annual just because we're AGR. Again, it'll be biennial for your TRs and DSGs, and you'll hit save and next. Okay, you want to go over all of their duty information. myRating has went ahead and put this information in there. So you just want to verify that this information is actually what they are completing on a day-to-day basis or on drill weekends. This is where you actually get to go through and rate the members. So you'll look at the bullets and rate them accordingly. You do want to go ahead and make sure that those bullets fit with the section that it is under. So you want to make sure that these are their duty bullets. You can collapse it and then go ahead and rate them on their follower leadership, make sure that those bullets match, and so forth throughout the rest of the form. And again, you want to go ahead your overall performance, and then you can look at the comments that they've proposed for the additional rater. You can say, hey, these look great, let's go ahead and push them forward, or you can kind of correct them as you see fit. And you can also go ahead and put in a bullet that you think that your unit commander or reviewer should put in there if you want to. And then your remarks section is the same. That's where you're going to put all of your acronyms used throughout the form. Go ahead and save and next. And then again, this is where all the supporting documentation is. Again, down the road, everything will be integrated in myFSS, so you won't need to put in all the EPRs or the PT tests. Save and next. And then this is your final review again. And like I said, it's very important that you keep reviewing this. Make sure that you don't miss anything. So you'll get to go ahead and look through all of it before you go ahead and submit it to the additional rater. So again, make sure that all of your ratings look good. You didn't accidentally click something else. The bullets still look good. And go ahead and submit. And so it goes ahead and tell you that your submission is complete. And so now you can see at the top, it's gone to your additional rater, and we will now turn it over to Ms. Foster.
Good morning, everyone. As Sergeant Elfring said, it's coming over to me, Ms. Foster, as the additional rater. And for the purposes of this training, I am also going to be the squadron commander. I absolutely believe repetition is important. And while we have the opportunity to show you what things look like, well, how they should look like from your point of view, I want to keep going through this process as much as possible. So you'll be a little bit more comfortable when you actually go in and start playing around in myEval. So I'm going to follow the same process before as the ratee and the rater. So I'm going to CAC log in, sign in with my CAC. If there's any point in time that you can't hear me, you guys have been doing really good about letting us know in the chat. So please continue to do so. Okay, so as mentioned before, your view might be a little bit different depending on what role you've been assigned. All of the ratees and the HR professionals should be able to see both the myEval tab and the roles in routing for your HR professionals. Ratees and raters, you should only see this one. So for the purposes of this training, I am going to click on myEval so I can see the performance evaluation. And just to clear that up, that previous screen that I just showed, if you're an HR professional, you should be able to see the myEval and the my roles in routing tiles. Okay, so now that we're here at our main screen as the additional rater, I see that I have an action pending in my box. So what I'm going to do is click on that. And it shows here under pending actions that I have to review and provide my comments on this evaluation. So I'm going to continue performance eval. And as was discussed previously, you'll see the status bar at the top. And this is confirming that I am the additional rater and I have an action to complete. So what I want to do is what the team did earlier is just review the ratee information, make sure that this is the person that I'm rating on and all information should be correct. The same with the rater's identification data. This information is showing me as the additional rater, and that information looks good. So what I'm going to do is scroll down. Hold on, I want to show somebody sent a chat and asked if we had an option to do a directed by headquarters evals, and you'll see what these other options are: CRO, directed by half, and directed by commander. So for the purposes of this training, we're going to keep it on annual, and everything looks good up here. So we're gonna save and next. Once again, you'll see that you're gonna get a notice for your character limits. And this is just a reminder so you don't forget, but the system will let you know if you go over. You'll get a nice big red box at the top. So I'm gonna close that. I'm going to review my bullets or the bullets for the duty description for the rater. Everything looks good there. I'm gonna save and next. And I'm going to go and review the ratings by the rater along with the bullets. So I'm just gonna scroll through this kind of slow and hit the caret so you can see how I can minimize them. So I'll have a little bit more on my screen. And again, for the purposes of this demonstration, this will not be a referral. So everything looks good to me. For the purposes of this demonstration, the proposed bullets have already been inputted for me. So you can get an idea of what the character count, how the character count works. And since that looks good, then I am going to concur with the evaluation. Since this is not a referral, as I previously stated, I'm going to click no. And here it has add review comments. I think we got some feedback previously with folks wanting to know how that worked. So I'm gonna click on here and I'm just gonna put something random, proposed comment, so you can get an idea of how that works. From F2. Okay, so once I finish putting my comments in here, I'm gonna click send, and you'll see under the evaluation and review comments that those have been added. And I'll show you again, I'll show that to you again when I get to the next rating. Down here, you'll see, once again, this is where your acronyms are going to go. And I'm ready to save next. You'll be able to review the documents that were uploaded. And as Sergeant Wright and Sergeant Elfring stated before, this is information that you'll have to put in yourself for right now. I know myEval 2.0 and 3.0 will be able to pull this information for you, so you don't have to go and upload it yourself. So that looks good. I'm going to do a save and review. And as you can see, this system will give you plenty of time to review, just in case you got to go back and make any changes before you submit to the next person. So once again, I'm looking at the identification data. Everything looks good. This is for the purposes of this training. Annual report looks good. I'd looked at the duty descriptions before, verified that everything is good to go. The ratings have been completed. All right, here's the additional rater comments, those proposed comments I was talking about before. Concurring, verifying acronyms and the information that was uploaded or the documents that were uploaded. So now I am going to submit. And if you look up here, and we're going to show it again when I get to the squadron commander screen. If you look up here, it lets you know where it's being submitted. So next is going to go to squadron commander, and that will be me for the purposes of this training. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click back to dashboard.
All right, we actually had made me the squadron commander for this routing. So again, as the squadron commander, you just want to go through and make sure that all the information is correct. Save and next. And you'll just be going through just like everybody else, making sure everything looks good and that you agree with the ratings. So make sure that you hit I concur or I do not concur. For the purpose of this one, I am going to go ahead and concur with the evaluation. And this is where you can see that the additional rater has made any comments. So again, if there's anything that I want to change or I have questions about, there's also the section where I can add my reviewer comments. But in this case, I do not have any, so I can go to save and next. And this is where you can put in future roles. We do know that yesterday it was stated that the rater can put suggested roles. We do not have the job aid on exactly how to do that yet, so please be patient as we are still working on that piece. And as soon as we have it, we will ensure it gets out to the field. So again, you want to make sure quality force reviews, yes, they're promotion eligible, they have their education. If they are promotion eligible, make sure that you select a promotion recommendation. If they are not promotion eligible, you will just leave that blank. Save and next. Again, this is where you can review all the supporting documentation. Everything looks good, it's all there, so save and review. And just like everybody else, it's going to lay everything out for you in one single page so that you can go through and look at it all again, make sure that everything looks good. And this is where at the bottom, you can see if you had any comments, you can send it back to the additional rater. You can save the progress if you don't have time, or you can go ahead and submit. And it is gone for submission. And so again, you can see up at the top, now that everybody's gone through and reviewed it, it is going to go back to the rater for signature. And this is now when you're going to start the official signing process. All right, so I will make sure I go under the rater action tab. Make sure that we click the right one. And again, I will continue to put this that your MPFs or elevated CSSs will be the one that's pushing these into ARMS. So as you guys go through this, you really want to make sure that everything is correct and looks right. So this is what the view that'll give you when you go to sign. So you can use the carrots to expand a section. Once you've reviewed it, you can make it smaller again. For time purposes, we're not going to go through each and every one, but you can see the concept of how you want to go through and make sure everything's good. Once you agree with it, you certify and submit evaluation, and that is the equivalent of your digital signature on the actual form. And so now you can see up at the top that has gone to the additional rater for signature.
All right, folks. So moving forward, you'll see that it is with me for signature as the additional rater. And as Sergeant Elfring stated before, make sure that you select the right report. And as she stated before, you can go back and look at the information that has been populated by you. Nothing should be a surprise. And now I am ready to sign by clicking Certify and Submit Evaluation. And once again, you can look at the status bar and see that it's going over to the squadron commander, which is not me.
All right, again, so then we'll go into the squadron commander section. Notice that it's there, so I'll continue evaluation. Again, everything will pop out just as it did for the rater, additional rater, etc. So I can go through and look at everything. Again, I will certify and submit, and this is the equivalent of your digital signature. So then it's going to go back to your dashboard, and now it is going to go to the rater to release the evaluation. This is their final last review to be like, hey, you know what? This is great. This is perfect. I'm ready for my ratie to go ahead and sign it. And again, you should be communicating any changes or anything with your ratie as well so that they're not surprised when this comes back to them. So again, you'll go in. And I am now as the rater, so you can see it says evaluation release. Again, it gives everything like it has before, so your one last final review. Go ahead and submit it. And now it's going to go to the ratie for their final signature.
Okay, so now we're back on the ratie dashboard. Most likely it timed me out, so I'll need to refresh. Again, for the raties, these ratings shouldn't be a surprise, so make sure you're communicating with your rater on your ratings and any changes that may have been made during the input process. So I'm under ratie actions, continue performance evaluation. Again, review all the information. And at the bottom, certify and submit evaluation. And this is the same as a digital signature. So as you see at the top of the status bar, it is now awaiting MPF approval for them to do a final look over as they should be doing and pushing it into your permanent record, which is product.
At this time, we're not going to go over those steps just because we don't have all the job aids. We mostly just wanted to focus on showing you guys the forms. So now we're going to go back to my page as the rater. And again, as we stated, just because when a form has started does not mean that the ratie has to start the form. It's going to be both in her box and in mine.
As the ratie and rater.
Okay, so if we go under the rater actions, you can see I can go to our other performance report. And this one, again, for time purposes, we have gone ahead and put in bullets. However, you can see that the ratie input up at the top is still blue, which means that she has not gone in and put in any of her comments. But I, as the rater, can still go ahead and go in and start the process. So again, you want to make sure everything looks good. Again, it's going to give you the limit, the character limit. So again, same as before, make sure all the duty description looks good. And then in here, let's say we're going to go ahead and put a referral. So we're going to say she meets some, but not all expectations. Now, in order to hit that, you want to make sure that you do have a derogatory bullet in there. So for purposes here, we're just gonna say down here, proposed rater comments, member received a DUI. We'll say that's in the bulk of the EPR as well. So this is when your referral report information is gonna come up. So again, the first bullet, you wanna put exactly why you were giving them the referral report. Whether it's they received a DUI, a lot of times the most common one is failed PT test, etc. So this is the part, you're still going to upload the referral memorandum in accordance with the AFI, but this is right here is where you're going to put the information that they need to send the rebuttal comments if they choose to write them. Again, it's always going to be the rater after the additional or after the referring rater that the rebuttal comments need to go to. So we've got everything in here. We're checkboxing saying that, yes, we have hand delivered this referral memorandum to the ratee and they know that it's coming. This is not going to be a surprise when they come in their box. So under referral evaluator signature, that is what you were saying. So you want to sign and acknowledge that. And then you can submit the report. So then you will continue to go through the form just like you would any other way. Make sure that everything is good and hit save and next. Again, this is where you're going to put in your referral memorandum, and then this is also where the ratee will upload their referral rebuttal as well, just so that everybody can see it and it can be considered throughout the rest of the evaluation process. Also, if the member received any LORs or they had that failed fitness test or whatever paperwork that you might have to provide justification for the referral, this is where you would load it so that everybody can see all the way up to the squadron commander. So go ahead and save and review. Again, the same as before, you want to go through and really make sure that everything looks right. There's no spelling errors, anything else. Make sure you didn't incorrectly hit some sort of or a different rating than what you meant. And once everything looks good, you will go ahead and submit referral. Again, it wants to make sure that you are doing everything in accordance with the AFI. You are making sure that the ratee gets the referral memorandum and knows what's happening before they see this in myEval. Once it's submitted, you can see now it's going to go back to the ratee to acknowledge the form. For purposes of this training, yes, we know that ratees will oftentimes refuse to sign, etc. But for purposes of this, we're going to go ahead and accept it. There will be job aids out there at a later time that will go with those instances and where CSS can go and input anything on the ratee's behalf.
Okay, so we're on the ratee's dashboard. Again, this shouldn't be a surprise. I know it's coming. So I'm going to hit on continue performance evaluation. Again, ensuring all my information is correct. This flows from LPDS. So if it isn't, please get with your CSS or MGF. Save and next. Save and next. Again, making sure I agree with the bullets. Again, this isn't saying this person, you're not saying you agree, you're saying you acknowledge, but anywho, going through it. I would upload my rating book rebuttal here if I had one. Down here, I'm saying I acknowledge that I received my referral from my rater and it was hand delivered. Sign and acknowledge. And then you'll hit save and next. Save and next. Again, giving me the opportunity to make sure all the information is correct. Making sure all my documents are uploaded, and I will hit submit. So now it is back with my rater. as you can see at the top of the page with the status bar.
So going back in as the rater, it goes back to me just so that it can show that one, that she has acknowledged that she received the memorandum, the referral memorandum. And it also allows her the opportunity to go in and make any of her inputs on any of the other bullets. While she knows that she's getting a referral, she may have some strong bullets or some other strong things that she did that she wants to make sure is in there as well. So again, it kind of looks like for the one moment, guys. We set up a couple different ones, so we just got to make sure that we get back into the right one. Okay, so as you can see, by the green bars, it says that, hey, yes, the rater started this one. Now the ratee had the chance to put their inputs in, and now it's going back to me to make sure that any inputs that she put in are accurate, they're true to what she's done, or anything like that. So we can go ahead and save and next as we review everything. So all those bullets look good, so we'll go ahead and save and next. And then here I can see that she put in her referral bundle. Although it's going to go to the additional rater, we still have the ability to see what they put in there. So we'll go to save and review. Again, as many times as possible, just make sure that you're really looking through everything and you're not just fast scrolling like we are for purposes of time. Because again, it is going to be up to the units to be pushing this into the member's record, with the exception of the referrals. The referrals will still come to ARPC for review. So we'll go ahead and submit it. And now it is going to go to the additional rater for review. Okay, so now it's gone to the additional rater, so she can go ahead and continue performance on that one. Again, with the blue marks, you can see that this is where it's at and everywhere that it's gone. So like we are going to keep foot stomping, make sure that you review all the information for accuracy. When you're viewing things over and over, sometimes it's easy to miss something. So you want to continue to go through it, make sure everything looks good for your ratee, rater, additional rater, etc. For the purposes of Sandbox, the reviewer information didn't upload. In the actual system when you go through, make sure that that reflects the correct person. Go ahead and save and next. Again, it's going to keep reminding you about the character limit notice. Same as before, you're going to go through everything, make sure that the job description matches. This is what the member does. Save and next. And this is where they can see that this is a referral rating. So they want to go and make sure, read through the bullets, make sure that they reflect accurately. Your derogatory comment is in there and that everything is justified for a referral. So they can go down, see, member received a DUI. Yep, that's what they did. They can add more to it, etc. They can concur with it, or for example, they say, you know what, they got a DUI, but it wasn't justified or substantiated, etc. What have you. They can also not concur and then explain why. However, for the purposes of showing you the referral, we're going to say yes, they concur with what the rater has said. Again, you'll notice they add review comments if there was anything that they didn't agree with or wanted to add. This is where they could put it in. However, everything looks good, so we'll go to save and next. Again, this is where the additional rater is going to review that rebuttal, so they can go in, see what the member said, decide if they want to keep the rating or go ahead and change it and throw that out. For the purposes here, yes, the ratings accepted it. We're going to go ahead and continue with the referral. Save and review. Everything looks good. It's a one more review before we push it to the squadron commander. By the time it gets to the squadron commander, we want to make sure that it looks great. They are busy folks, so we don't want to add more work to them if we don't have to. All right, we can see that yes, the rater signed the referral report and the ratee acknowledged they were getting it. Then we'll go ahead and submit. All right, now you can see up at the top, it is going to the squadron commander now. Bear with us as our systems are still syncing. So for this, Ms. Foster is still the squadron commander. So it'll show up under her squadron commander section. She'll go ahead to continue performance evaluation. And she will go through the same steps as the additional rater. She's going to look through, make sure that everything is correct. Yes, this is the ratee, this is the rater, and this is my additional rater. And typically this would also be the reviewer signature information. Again, if Sandbox is not working perfect. As before, she's going to go through the descriptions, make sure everything looks good and accurate, save and next. She's going to see all the ratings, look at the bullets, make sure that they are justified, but they're still capturing the good that has been done. She can see the additional raters. Yes, the member received the DUI. And the additional rater will also make sure that they input those mandatory comments in the AFI as well. So they've gone through. For purposes, yes, they concur with this referral. If they didn't or had any changes, again, they can add their review remarks. But for this purpose, they agree with everything. So we'll go save and next. And this is where the future roles will be input. Again, I know we're still working to see how the rater or anybody else can input suggestions for this. So bear with us as we are still getting job aids out. And then we'll go ahead and say, yes, they got their CCAF, all of the required things that need to be filled out. And so the members promotion eligible because they're getting a referral, they may get a promote or maybe they're just not ready now. So this is where, again, if they are promotion eligible, you will need to fill out a promotion recommendation. If they are not, you can just leave that blank. We'll go save and next. Again, they can see the referral rebuttal. The referral memo will be in there as well and all other supporting documentation. So we will save and review. Again, we're going to review all of it. You ensure that, yes, the rater signed the referral, the ratee acknowledged it. We are good to go. And then we can go ahead and submit. And so it lets you know that it's submitted. It's telling you where it's going to next. So now it will be able to go to the rater and through the entire chain again for signature as we did before. All right, so now as the rater, I'm going back in. I will go under my Rater Actions tab and click on the 31 March reports, the referral that we've been working. And this is again where I'm going to go ahead and review it, make sure that everything looks good, make sure that the referral still stands. This way I can see, you should be communicating outside of myEval, but if the additional rater or commander said that, hey, this referral is not justified, I'd be able to see their comments in here as well. But they agreed with everything, so I have gone in and signed it. So now it is going to go to the additional rater for final signature. All right, so she's going to go under her additional rater actions and she's going to see that performance evaluation. So she'll go ahead and click on that. And again, just as before and in every other view, she'll be able to see all of it on one page. She can expand it, review it, and then minimize it as she has made sure that everything is correct. She'll really want to go over the referral portion, make sure again that everybody's signed, everything's in accordance with the AFI, everything looks good. So she's going to go ahead and certify and submit evaluation. And she'll go back to her dashboard. As she can see, it's now at the squadron commander. And since she is the squadron commander, she will be able to just go back and then click on that squadron commander tab. Again, we'll go ahead and continue that performance evaluation. And same as before in all the other views, it's going to have everything on one page where it all collapsed so she can expand it, review it, collapse it again. Everything looks great. We definitely advise always double, triple check the referral reports. Make sure everything looks good. You want to make sure it's done right the first time. So it looks great. Everybody signed it. We're going to go ahead and certify and submit evaluation. And now again, it's going to go back to the rater for the evaluation release. So I will go into my rater actions. I'm going to go ahead and refresh since she just sent it back to me. So again, we'll go to the rater action tab, go ahead and continue performance. And then as the rater, this is my final review to make sure that everything is still the same. Everything is what we've noticed for our ratee, and that we don't want to change anything or nothing was changed on us that we didn't already discuss. So we will go ahead and submit it. And now it will finally go to our ratee for signature.
So we're back at the ratee dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and refresh. It's under my actions, continued performance evaluation. again, since you want to review every evaluation, but with referrals, you want to pay a little bit more attention. So I'm going to go through, make sure everything is good to go. And once I concur with everything, I'm going to certify and submit. And now, as you can see, it's with my MPF for their final approval and review, and they will push into my product record. So head back to my dashboard. And it's officially with my MPF. So we really hope you guys enjoyed our live demo. Thank you so much for your patience as we worked out the kinks. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick 5 and we'll come back for the Q&A. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, thanks for hanging out with us during that. So we're going to go ahead and read and answer a lot of the questions that were put in our page. But I just wanted to circle back on the future role issue. I know that has been brought up several times. So we are working with the developers now, letting them know that this is feedback and they are going to work on that in their future development. So please be patient. We are definitely doing what we can to make things easier and better for the fields. All right, so go ahead and going into the questions. How do I see all the members in my unit? I have my org under the org tab, but I don't see the members. The first part of that is we're not going to see all the members until they all log in. If they haven't logged in, you're not going to be able to populate them. But at the same time, we're also working on a way to actually pull that full report. It is still being worked, so please be patient as that will be coming out in some of the newer versions. I am looking in myEval and I should be seeing the Chief Master Sergeant EPR. I am the CSS. Again, because it just went live today, we ask that you give it about a week or two for everything to flow over correctly. The system is going in overload as everybody is now logging in. Everybody has access. So we know for the first few weeks, there's going to be some trial and error on issues. So just give it a little bit of time. How do I create an EPR shell on myEval? There's job aids in our Teams page and also through the myFSS page that you can go to. So they, however, they will auto-populate in myEval. If they don't, you should be able to update them in MilPDS. And if that still doesn't work, then go to the job aids. Does the Rady upload the supporting documents? They can. It can be the Rady as well as the Rater. It just depends on who has easier access to get to those. Are we moving away from standard bullets in the evaluation? So yes, this is being talked about. However, nothing has been set in stone. We don't know when that will be implemented. So for now, at least definitely through the Senior Master Sergeant Squad, you will be using bullet format.
And the final product in the members record, do the Rady and additional Rater commander comments become part of the record? Yes, comments filled out will populate within the area of the form that the remarked comments were provided. Is there a way I can get a recording of this training for members who won't be able to attend? The training that we are doing today will be the same this Sunday. All of our trainings are being recorded and uploaded to our Teams page as well as YouTube, usually within 5 days after conducting the training. The site launched today, but it looks the exact same and no shells have been created. When can we expect shells to start generating for members? So like we said previously, the site just went live today. Please give it about 2 weeks before you start seeing any shells. And of course, reach out to us if you haven't. What does the evaluation route through the local? Give me 1 second, sorry.
Okay, so this question is in regards to the evaluation routing through FSS and whose responsibility is going through ARPC. So again, like we've explained, everything's going to be pushed through the MPF or elevated CSS. The only reports that are going to come through us are ARPC. I want to reiterate that there was a few years ago that we were doing AT training and members were taking home access. Well, there was a point when we actually cut off the access and quit letting units take it home so that they'd be able to process their own reports. And we got a lot of feedback that the fields were asking for that access back because they felt that it was easier for them to push the reports themselves. They were complaining that it was taking us too long and it would just be easier for them. So we routed up through our leadership and we listened to the field's feedback. They were the ones that were asking for this access. So that is why we have decided to follow along with our other components with RegAF and the reserves and pushing this back to the units. So, and the reserves guard and RegAF will all be doing this from the MPF level. Again, I want to reiterate, this was feedback that we got from the field. So you guys had asked for it, we routed it through leadership, and we decided to give the responsible back to you per your request.
And this goes with my next question. What is your suggestion for A&G FSS wings to manage thousands of EPRs, OPRs through our office, through your office? Please get with your leadership. Again, we are just providing the feedback that the field gave us. And also, we can't speak on NGD regarding additional resources. This is a matter that will need to be discussed with your A&G leadership. One suggestion we do have would be to consult your MPF team and superintendent to discuss the way forward with the new system and the MPF responsibilities. This will help establish force management evaluation responsibilities and ensure reports are being managed, reviewed appropriately. Please note, there is no rush to push reports into members' records, quality over quantity.
All right, what rank style is the ACA and myEval going to be required? For senior master sergeants, are we going to upload a paper copy of it? So ACAs will be within myEval. You will not be able to you will not need to fill out the form. So as of right now, you can go in and do feedbacks in myEval. You don't have to do the paper form anymore. It is just not until senior master sergeants where the feedbacks will be required to be done through myEval. And then the last question was, will these questions and answers be provided or saved so we can refer back to them? Yes, we do have them all saved. So we are going to go ahead and put them on our Teams page again as soon as the session is done, and we definitely go through and review them again. So we will have all of those out there for you. And if you guys have any more questions, please go ahead and throw them either in the meeting pulse or in Zoom, and then we will continue to read them for about another 5 minutes. Okay, will we receive a notification when there's an action pending for Ratee, Raider, Squadron, Commander, etc.? Yes, so if you actually go into your myEval, there's an email preference, and you can go in there and choose if you want to receive updates every time there's something new that happens, or if you just want to do it daily, etc. You as the member can choose how you want to receive your notifications. Is there a way to route an eval to an exec or chief for review prior to pushing it for signatures? Yes, you will be able to adjust and change the routing definitions. So again, if you go on our Teams page or through the myFSS cloud or portal, there all the job aids are on there as well. How do we get added to your Teams page channel? I am going to go ahead and throw the team name up there again. There is also the code if you can't find it by the name. If you still have issues, go ahead and just let us know, and then we can add you as well. Yes, so somebody asked, will there be an autosave option? For example, being pulled into a different person. It does not autosave. You will need to make sure you hit save progress. But if you're in the middle of it and save it, it'll save exactly where you left off. All right, at this time, we're gonna leave this Teams page up for about another 2 minutes, and then that will conclude our training for today. Again, give us a few days and we will save these recordings up there. Quick reminder, definitely check out the A1 Town Hall, the A1H Town Hall this weekend, Saturday, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And then our training again for your TRs, DSG folks on Sunday at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And we will repost that information with the Zoom links on our Teams page. Thank you all for attending.